Well, I mean, basically, although my other stories have, messages, if you do this, this will happen, my Manz Em above all had the most strongest. It was the one that I chose to chapter for chapter deliver a message to those who read it, from young people to ex-offenders, to those who are still living that type of lifestyle. I wanted it to be clear that, one, you could overcome these challenges and these adversities and struggles, and two, that there were only two real options if you continue to live this type of lifestyle and display this type of behavior. So I wanted something that was more than just entertainment, but also educational.
So you got on board with the project. Explain how you got on board with the project, Alrich.
I think JM and I kind of been doing the same work but in different fields, and he saw me at an event, we got a connection, and then Lamar Maxim, a local Plainfielder, introduced us, and started talking about us potentially collaborating on one of his books, and they decided to bring Manz Em to life. At the time, I was promoting Kinyarwanda, which had just won Sundance and covered Roger Ebert's top 10 very soon. And I was actually getting ready to do some other projects for a lot more money when I get to Hollywood. And that struggle was, my heart wasn't there, and I walked away from that project and I said, you know what, JM, let's just do yours. Give me a reason to be in Plainfield, almost for the same reason why you chose that book. This was like, I knew doing this film was going to have more of an impact on this community, and that's really why I came aboard. And I knew, and they knew. I mean, they had the vision. They said that me working on a project like this was going to bring so much more substance and so much more. He said it's the scholar and the ex-offender coming together to get this message. So it's not just going to be entertaining; it's going to be educational, informative. So that's what I'm doing.
For the both of you, how does it feel when you see somebody, which I know you see it all the time, when you see people they make comments about your videos on YouTube, you see somebody reading your books, you see people having conversations about your book. How does it make you feel? And you as well, when you see people, they take note of your work. How does it make you feel knowing that you actually?
Let me answer this in the reverse, because when just being around him and being at the store and watching him do book signings and stuff, we might take it for granted because, a very small percentage of the population even reads, But when I'm here and I see a dude from the projects or a dude who just got out of jail, who's going to jail, stop by a bookstore, only because this is the only book that they would read. There's something magical and divine about that, just that reality. That here's a person that's going to come and read this man's books because of who he is and what he's gone through, who would normally not read anything else. And not just read it, but sit down and talk to you about, that scene in chapter 1 or that thing in chapter 2, why he do this, man, that was, and engaging it on a level that you would in a college lecture hall. That is something beautiful about that. So it's a privilege to watch that happen with him and his readers and his book, and the amount of people that engage him online, on Facebook, on YouTube, just for putting that content out there. I mean, I don't know many politicians who have that type of effect on a human being, for them to go out and pick something up and read it. He's like the hood version of Oprah.
You like that? You like that one? You never think of it like that, huh?
For me, it's really a major contributor to the motivation. It's the fuel that keeps me running and going. Just yesterday, attending the Harlem Book Fair was the first time in 6 years that I wasn't actually behind the table signing books all day and have to wake up the next morning and hear my supporters say, I wanted to go over and talk to JM or meet JM or take a picture with him, but he was just so busy, but I'll catch him next year. So just this year, just being able to walk through, it took me like 45 minutes to get from the beginning of the Harlem Book Fair to maybe about 100 feet. you know, let alone the entire fair, you know, because of so many pictures I had taken, so many conversations I had engaged in and things of that nature, so many praises and recognition and acknowledgement. You know, those are the things that contributes to me saying, like, going back is not even an option, like infinity times infinity, which doesn't even exist. I was sharing with Alrich before you came here, I was riding through the projects that I grew up in, and my brother flagged me down, and he was all excited. He said, man, a couple of days ago, I walked in the crib, my grandmother was reading my Manz Em. It bugged me out. That's what he's saying. It bugged me out. So I asked him, like, why it bugged you out? He said, man, my grandmother effing 82 years old, man. Like, to, you know, to hear, like, somebody 82 years old, man, reading my Manz Em, you know, and that right there, one, first and foremost, it's a blessing. You know, two, is just, you know, very humbling and very proud, you know, for me to even be in a position to get that type of response. There are many authors out there, you know, many that come home from prison and get books published and up and running. But many of those brothers and sisters, you know, are envious as to what I've been able.
Like that.
Only in the hood.
Yeah,
only in the hood.
It's not like that.
No, it's cool. But, you know, it's just a blessing to get that type of support and response to, you know, be putting ink to paper for my book on these pages.
To bounce off of what you said about Facebook and YouTube, the support that he gives. Just the other day, you put up a post on Facebook saying that you're celebrating your 6th anniversary of your home. You know, I got to keep you proud. In 6 years, you did a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff in 6 years. You know, me myself, I went in for 9 years. You know, so I'm only 3 years ahead of you. It's like, listen, man, you've always been my inspiration. I see the way you move, and I still can't catch up. I can catch you with it, but at the same time, you know.
Lives and memoirs, confessions of an ex-offender, ex-felon. Sure, really, definitely, man. My story is your story.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. You know, you've done a lot in 6 years. I know it seems like you don't get no sleep. You know, at least to me, it seems like you're not getting no sleep. You know, going back on the movie, you know, like I celebrate and forget you. You know, I'm getting proud for those so much in 6 years. But back on the movie, how were you able to get? I know that you have a lot of Jamie Hector, Styles P, Beanie Siegel, if he's
No,
around.
yeah, that's no longer the case. It's an unfortunate situation, but I mean, back to the lead role, which is have to credit that to Director Alrich Brown. Right now, this brother, many of you may not know, but there's a new show on ABC called Final Witness. It airs on 10 p.m. every Wednesday, and last Wednesday, the episode was directed by this brother here, Alrich Brown, a product of playing film, recognized in the film world as one of the 25 new faces in film. Right now, any and everybody would love to work with him or, you know, make a connection at minimum. And when I look at myself, when I see him, I look at myself like if I was in his world, I would be him. If he was an author, he would be me. You know, same energy, same passion, same dedication. And Jamie is just one of the few individuals that believe in his work and supports him 100%. So, you know, we don't have the entire cast together, but just that, you know, that piece of this puzzle was huge for me. It's time. I'd like to thank Mr. Hector for me to be a part of this project, but I'm sure that Arnold would love to say something like that.
Yeah, Jamie is like the core. Like, you know, I've been wanting to work with Jamie for a long time, and he's one of those actors that's so amazing and has such a strong screen presence, but I don't feel like I've been taken advantage of. And I want to put him in a leading role, and I wanted to give him an opportunity to have that Pacino, De Niro type performance in the movie where you see all the range, the lover, the fighter, the thug, the whole thing. And for me, that's really this film, as much as it's about my Manz Em, it's going to be about the acting like tour de force. You're going to see somebody put it on screen, and then we're going to build a beautiful cast around him. You know, some rappers, but mostly some really up and coming, strong talent. And we're also like going to have a lot of the community, like in a lot of extra roles and small parts to give people in the community a chance to be on screen. Yeah, but Jamie Hector's the heart for me. I mean, we've seen him on screen before.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you know, for those who don't know who Jamie Hector is, many may know him as Marlo from The Wire. But Jamie Hector, we're hoping to accomplish that. They no longer say Marlo from The Wire. They say Malik Jones from my Manz Em. You know Jamie Hector and Malik from my Manz Em. You know, so I'm looking forward to that.
And I've known Jamie since, you know, my NYU days, when my classmates had used him in several of their student films. So, you know, this is a long time coming for us to work together.
But where are you going to be shooting the film?
95% of the film will be shot here in Plainfield, right across the street. Hugo's plays a significant part in the film. The projects, of course. Just East End, West End, 3rd Street, you know, giving it that feel. I mean, Alrich had, you know, explained something to me best as far as like, it's one thing to be from Plainfield and to know the area, then it's another to actually see a film or see something visual and see the beauty of your city, your community, your town, your people on the screen, and to know that products of Plainfield have other reasons why this has been depicted in such quality manner. So it was very important for us, and also Lamar Maxon, which is a product of Plainfield, who's the co-producer of this project. We were very adamant about this film being shot in Plainfield, turned down, you know, situations, you know, possible financial budgets, you know, financial backings, to ensure that this project was shot in Plainfield. So we're really looking forward to that.
It's definitely an authentic way to go, right? Shoot the place that you're from. You get to see all the authenticity right now that people walking through. And they think that's the way. I mean, that's real. You know, you can't have it any other way when you're talking about a situation like this.
That's a flat way you shoot. Yeah, the Cassie said, come on.
That's what I'm
talking to the actors. Rolling.
Well, the one thing I can say about your book anyway, I remember in 2007 when I did the interview with your magazine. I was in the gym at the time then, and in between sets, answering questions, man, and, you know, coming to my home when my Manz Em was first delivered, they were there on the scene as we were taking the books off the truck. You know what I mean? So, like, you know, the authenticity that we can have it any other way.
I think that's the best way to go. You know, if you're going to do a story or you're going to do any type of depiction of anybody, I think you need to take that snapshot of reality. You know what I mean? You know, and you know about that. You know, definitely you know about that. You know, and that's for you as well.
Yeah, see, that's what we know about it, but you know, a lot of people take that for granted. That's what makes stuff, you know, even if you might spell a word wrong, or I might not cast the exact right person, but if people feel that truth, that genuine is coming from somewhere, people will take it, they will consume it, and they'll be nourished in a way they're not nourished with all the big budget glamour stuff that Hollywood gives them all the time.
For sure. We're gonna plan to follow this journey. Anything that keep my eye on. I got a 2-for-1 deal today. You know, I got to keep my eye around here as well. So, and in the future, as the pages turn, you know, I know you like book talk. You know, as the pages turn, you know, we're gonna be there. Still magazines, we're gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. You know,
focused on the movie. Right now, what we're doing is we have a campaign going on in Indiegogo where we've launched a fundraiser to raise funding, not for the film, but to generate, well, not to just generate, but one, to strengthen a partnership between us and our community, business owners and things of that nature, but above all, to be able to offer other options to the youth here in our city. You know, during this shooting, scheduled shooting in the month of October, we'd like to bring on as many young people from at-risk to high schoolers to college goers and things of that nature. We want to be able to bring them on and not offer them another means of obtaining finances, but to also gain some type of experience and exposure, and again, maybe open their minds and develop their minds more into the direction that they want to go, as they approach adulthood. So, if you remember, please go on to my Manz Em the movie Indiegogo campaign, and also follow us on Twitter, my Manz Em 2012, as well as Facebook, my Manz Em the movie.
Just to add to that, I'm just giving the spelling of my Manz Em so they don't get misled.
Oh, definitely. Spelled the DMX way.
There you go.
MYMANZANDEM. I almost had it wrong. But yes.
My Manz Em, see?
Definitely.
Best, man.
That's one of my Manz Em them right there.
Exactly.
But yes, my Manz Em the movie, all one word, and the Twitter is my Manz Em 2012.
Well, my focus right now is my Manz Em. So if they contact my Manz Em, look out for my Manz Em, you will find me.
There you go. And I appreciate it. It was good. I had a conversation with my Manz Em today, and everything about my Manz Em movie, my Manz Em book, and this is Jam Benjamin with Brown. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity. And then just want to give a plug right quick. Make sure y'all support the brother who made Myths, Memoirs, and Confessions of an Ex-Felon, as well as Still Magazine. It's a collaboration. This is what this is about. Often, many times, individuals are incarcerated. They talk about connecting and getting together and getting out and doing something negative. The brother got out, I'm out, and here it is. We're doing a